Let's make some sunny days with this vibrant balloon garland and iconic streetlight for the Sesame Street themed birthday backdrop. The garland is made from clusters of 6 balloons, 5 11-inch balloons and 1 17-inch balloon. I'm going to inflate the 17-inch balloon and one of the 11-inch balloons at the same time using my electric balloon inflator. Once they're both nearly their full size, I'm going to let a little air out and press them against the table or my torso to round them out and then tie them in a pair by wrapping the nozzles around twice and tying them in a knot. This will make the first pair of our cluster. Then inflate 2 11-inch balloons at the same time until they're nearly their full size, and then let some air out and press them against the table so that they're anywhere between 6 and 9 inches in diameter. Then we're going to tie these into a pair by wrapping the nozzles around twice and tying them in a knot. Make a second pair in the exact same way, and then join all 3 pairs together into a cluster. Take your first 2 pairs and overlap them so that the nozzles touch in the center, and then twist one balloon from each of those pairs around each other, locking them into a quad. Take the third pair and slip the nozzles of this pair against the nozzles of the quad, and then take one balloon from this new pair and wrap it around one balloon of the quad, securing all the balloons into a cluster of 6. I repeated this process until I had 2 clusters in each of my 7 colors. I'll be joining my clusters together into a garland using 2 empty 260 balloons in a coordinating color. I'm going to remove all the air from the 260, tie the end in a knot, and then tie the 2 260 balloons end to end so I have one long string to join all of my clusters together into the garland. Tie one end of your 260 string to one of the nozzles of your first cluster. Take the next cluster of balloons and nestle it right up against the first. Pull that 260 string up through the center of this new cluster and wrap it in a figure 8 around 2 of the balloons to secure the clusters together. Tie the next cluster onto the garland, making sure you're paying attention to where you're placing those 17-inch balloons. We want to zigzag them back and forth across the front and 2 sides of the garland, so we don't end up with too many of them clustered on just one side of the garland. As I continue to add new clusters to the garland, I'm adding them not in rainbow color order, but placing complementary colors right next to each other. I feel like this gives it a dynamic look, and once I have one cluster from each of my 7 colors added to the garland, I'm going to take the remaining 260 tail and tie it to one of the nozzles of that final cluster. This completes the main section of my garland, and I'll save those remaining clusters to add on to the garland in a later step. If you enjoy my teaching style, join me April 7th for a live online class. We'll be taking a deep dive into graduation designs, building 3 designs that day, and I'll walk you through the entire process on how to build those 3 projects and how to sell them. If you'd like to learn more about the class, check out the link in the description box below where you can get all the details and get registered now. I'm building this design on top of my backdrop stands, which I've set to 5 feet apart and about shoulder height for convenience right now, but will later raise it to about 7 feet tall. To this, I'm going to attach a red brick fabric backdrop, which I've already ironed all the fold creases out of so it's nice and flat. This backdrop doesn't have any pole pockets across the top, so I'm going to be hanging mine with some clamps right across that top pole. When working with a brick design backdrop fabric, it's critical that the brick design is nice and level. To ensure that, I'm clamping my fabric following one grout line all the way down the pole. I'm then going to fold any extra backdrop fabric around the left-hand side pole and clamp it in place. This will give me a nice clean edge on the left-hand side, and then on that right pole, I'm going to attach a couple 260 balloons so I can secure my garland to it. Now, usually I would just tie the 260 directly to the stand, but the lower part of the stand is pretty thick, and I want to make sure I have the full length of my 260 to be able to tie my balloon garlands to and not pull those balloons too tightly against the backdrop, causing folds. So I'm securing my 260 to the front of the stand using a zip tie, or you could simply tie one end of the 260 to the pole and just leave one long tail instead of having 2 tails. Finally, I raise my backdrop to 7 feet, and I want to give the bottom edge of the brick a nice crisp line. Now you could just fold this under and do your best to get a nice straight line, but I have found if you take an extra pole and fold the fabric under the pole, set the pole on the floor, and then pull the fabric taut from the back side, this will give you a nice crisp edge right against the floor. Now it's time to add the balloon garland, and I want to orient this garland so that all of my 17-inch balloons are either pointing out the front or the sides. I don't want any of these pushing into that fabric backdrop, as that will make some really intense folds. Once I'm happy with the placement of the garland, I'm going to take one of those 260 balloons we attached to the right-hand side of the backdrop, gently pull on it, and wrap it around 1 or 2 balloons that's directly in front of it. Secure the garland to that lower attachment point, And then to finish off the top of the garland, I'm going to add a couple more clusters with that remaining 260 tail, or you can tie on a new 260 if you need some more length. I'm going to place these clusters so they curve along the top edge of the backdrop and stop just past the halfway point of that brick wall. To keep this top section of the garland from drooping down, I'm going to tie the last cluster to that middle clamp that is secured to the backdrop with an extra 260 balloon. In a few places, I'm going to widen the garland by adding in a few extra clusters. I felt like I needed one up in this top right corner, and then I'm going to add 2 clusters to the base so it has a nice flare out against the floor. I'm tying an empty 260 balloon to the nozzles of that second balloon cluster to attach these 2 extra clusters. But if you're using a balloon brand and color that has really stretchy nozzles, you could always tie these clusters nozzle to nozzle for a really tight look. For added texture and to fill in any gaps in my garland, I've inflated 5-inch balloons to 4 inches in diameter, tied them into quads, and then tied 2 quads together using an empty 260 balloon I had cut in half and attached 1 quad on either end. These mini clusters are perfect for filling in gaps. Stretch the 260 between the 2 mini quads around 1 or 2 balloons that are already in the garland. Wrap the quads around each other, making sure the 260 is sitting against the nozzles of the balloons, and then you can play with the placement of these little balloons until you're happy with where they're sitting. These are perfect for filling in gaps, adding texture, and defining the outer edge of the garland so it takes on the shape that you're really looking for. I made 1 of these mini clusters for each cluster of the garland. I feel like 8 5-inch balloons per cluster is a really nice mix of textures, but if you love the look of these tiny balloons, you could always make 2 mini clusters for every 1 large cluster of the garland. If you need a little extra help making the light pole, I have a set of written plans available in the description box below. To make the light pole, you'll need a balloon sizer box. I'm going to inflate 2 green balloons at the same time and then use the sizer box to size them down to 8 inches in diameter. Press one of the balloons gently against the 8-inch hole of the sizer box and slowly let air out until it just fits through. Once they're both 8 inches in diameter, tie them into a pair by wrapping the nozzles around twice and tying them in a knot. Make a second 8-inch pair in the exact same way, and then we're going to take a single green balloon inflated to 8 inches in diameter and tie it around the nozzles of one of those pairs by wrapping it around and then tying it in a knot to one of the nozzles of the pair. This will create a trio. Then you're going to take your trio and your pair and join them together into a set of 5. Slip the nozzles of the pair against the nozzles of the trio and then twist 1 balloon from the pair and 1 balloon of the trio around each other, locking it into the set of 5. Take a 5-foot tall lamp stand or any stand that has a narrow pole. Between 2 of the balloons, slip the pole in between those 2 balloons so the nozzles are touching that center pole, and then take the 2 balloons with the pole in between them and twist them around each other twice. This will secure the set to our balloon stand. Gently press down on the balloons so they're each touching the floor. Make another set of 5 balloons, but these are inflated to 6 inches in diameter. Slip them around the pole, twist the 2 balloons around each other twice, and then orient the balloons so 1 balloon of this set sits in between 2 balloons of the set below it. Inflate 2 260 balloons with 7 pumps of air or until there's about 2 finger widths of uninflated balloon left on the end. Tie the nozzles together in a pair and then slip that pair under one of the 6-inch balloons, pulling those 260s up so they sit right against the balloon stand pole. Make a second 260 pair and slip it under a 6-inch balloon on the opposite side of the base so that all 4 of these 260s sit right against that central balloon stand pole. Draw your hands up the 260s until they get near the ends of the balloons. This will straighten the 260s out against the stand. I'm going to temporarily hold these in place with a rubber band. This isn't strictly necessary, but I find it's much easier to add the decorative rings when I'm not chasing around the floppy tops of these 260 balloons. I'm going to place 1 rubber band about 1/3 of the way up the 260s and then a second rubber band near the very end of the 260s. To make the decorative rings of the light pole, inflate a 260 balloon with 4 pumps of air, tie the nozzle off in a knot, and then make a 1-inch bubble in from that nozzle end and turn it into a pinch twist by folding that bubble over, wrapping the nozzle around that twist a couple times to create our first pinch twist. Make a second pinch twist by creating another 1-inch bubble and then folding that bubble in half and twisting the twist before and after that bubble around each other, creating 2 pinch twists on the end of this 260. That's how we'll join the ends together. Place these pinch twists on the back side of your pole. Wrap the rest of the 260 around the light pole where the end of that 260 260 overlaps the base of that pinch twist, we're going to put a twist in the 260. Then right where that twist is, we're going to wrap it around the base of those pinch twists, wrapping it all the way around and then through the center of the 2 pinch twists. Then take a pair of scissors, nip the end of the balloon to release any remaining air. Then you can secure the end by either wrapping it around the pinch twists a couple more times or tying it in a knot to the nozzle that's sitting right next to the pinch twists. Take your scissors and trim off any of the extra 260 tail and tuck it away out of sight. I like to place the pinch twists of the ring right in between 2 of those vertical 260s, as I find it helps make the ring nice and round. Attach another ring about a third of the way up those vertical 260 balloons right where we placed the rubber band. On top of this ring, I'm going to place a string of pearls. I inflated a 260 with 3 pumps of air, and then to make the pearls, I'm going to make a 2-inch bubble. So 2 inches from the nozzle, pinch the balloon, and then twist the remaining tail 3 to 4 times. Make another bubble in the exact same way, trying to keep them as even in size as possible. The key to making pearls is not letting go, and to help keep them from unraveling, I'm going to take the first and second pearl and stick that twist between my pinky and ring finger, and that will hold the beginning of my pearl string in place and keep them from unraveling as I continue to make pearls down the rest of the balloon. When creating strings of pearls that I'm going to be moving around and shifting on the design, I like to twist each pearl a little bit extra. So I'm twisting each pearl about 4 times so I have a little bit of wiggle room in case one starts to unravel as I move them around on the light pole. I'm going to continue making pearls until I have about 16 of them all together, as that will be more than enough to go around the light pole and give me a few extras on the end. I'm then going to take the first pearl and the remaining 260 and twist them around each other twice. This will keep the string of pearls from unraveling until I need them for the light pole. Then I'm going to very gently untwist that first and last pearl and wrap the string around the light pole right on top of that ring that we added just a little bit ago. Wherever a twist between bubbles overlaps the nozzle from that first bubble, that's where we're going to tie them together. Wrap the nozzle around that twist a couple times, nip the end of the remaining tail of the balloon so that the air slowly lets out, and then tie that tail end to the nozzle in a double knot. If you need to adjust the string of pearls so that it sits against the ring below it, try and grab the pearls as a whole. Adjust the string as a unit without letting them roll against the light pole, as that could untwist your pearls. Repeat this process so you have 2 rings against the base, a ring, a string of pearls, and a ring a third of the way up, and then a string of pearls and ring near the top of the light pole. Above that top ring, slip a 6-inch set right around the top of all of those 260 tails so that the 260 sit right against the nozzles of that set. Then twist the 2 balloons with the nozzles in between them around each other twice and flatten them out as best you can. They'll sit a little flatter once we add the next set on top, which are 11-inch balloons inflated to 5 inches in diameter and tied into a set. Slip them onto the pole, twist them in place, and then arrange them so that one balloon of this set sits in between 2 balloons of the set below it. This final set should be sitting at the very end of our balloon stand. On top of this, I'm going to add an 18-inch white balloon that I inflated to nearly its full size and then press it against my torso or a table and slowly let air out until it was nice and round. To the nozzle of this, I'm going to tie an empty 260 balloon in a double knot, which I'll use to secure the 18-inch balloon to the light pole. Set the 18-inch balloon right in the center of that topmost set of balloons, stretch one of those 260 tails around one of the balloons of that topmost set, and then weave it down and wrap it around one of the balloons of the set below it. Do the same thing with the second 260 tail, and that will secure the white balloon in place. Simply let the tails go and they'll disappear into the center of the light pole. I'm going to place the light pole on the left-hand side of the brick backdrop. This will distract your eye from seeing the edge of the backdrop, as well as balancing out the colorful garland on the right-hand side. I added in this Cookie Monster foil balloon on a latex balloon base to finish out this fun design. If you enjoyed this project, you can find written plans for the light pole linked in the description box below, as well as other helpful balloon resources. Expand your balloon skills by checking out this video, and until the next time, remember, stay creative, everybody!